Hello and welcome to That British Homestead. My name's Nick, and today, well, we're going to be doing some potting on because my plants are desperate for potting on. I am hopefully at the weekend going to be able to make a few more beds up with the help of Bob, and I will be able to, get some of this stuff out into the world. But until then, I'm going to go ahead and pot them on. So what I have is this super organic compost mix, and I'm just going to be going ahead and making some holes in it, and I'm going to be going ahead and putting on. It's super easy to put on, so literally just grab out your seedling. You could be a little bit more harsh than you actually think with them, and then you can go ahead and pot them just by, well, it makes sense if I use this corner, by digging a little hole and pushing them in. Like so. This is a flour mix, so I'm not 100% sure what these are, but I'm sure that they're going to be amazing. And because I planted out a load of my peppers, I do have more room on my potting table or my sunning table for my little seedlings. So potting them up will give them a load more nutrients. Therefore, you can get a whole more, like a much bigger growth. These ones, there's quite a few of them in there. So what I'm doing is just rubbing them together, and I'm going to detangle them. There's 3 in there, you see. Just make sure all of the roots go in the ground. What's the matter? You're tired again, aren't you? You've overdone it. Right, I'll rock and you can go to sleep. Hey, that's a good combo, isn't it? These are daisies, apparently. They're called living stone. I'll water these in really well, and hopefully they'll be very pretty, lovely flowers. They do look good anyway. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and label these up. I'm happy to put these purple sprouting broccolis in such a big container because they're going to be in there for quite a long time. I kind of want to put them in once something else is done so that I get maximum potential out of them, because these aren't going to crop until next spring. I like to have lettuce free for when I pull something out, and these really need to go out. So I've kept on these. I planted a load of them the other day, but these ones just literally don't have anywhere to go yet. Okay, so I've just filled this up with the organic soil, and once again I'm just kind of squishing them up from the bottom and pulling at the top. You can actually pull on little seedlings leaves, they're actually stronger than you would think. So I'm just making a little hole. You can see that the roots are quite good. They're not too bad, but they're just not growing big enough. So there's not massive point of having them in here if they're not going to put on any leaves whilst they wait to go in. I find that having lettuce closer to the house is way more convenient, because if I forget to harvest it, I can just go ahead and grab it, or send Jazz out to grab it whilst I'm cooking, which is way better than having it down the allotment. So I eat more of it that way. But if I was going to grow heads and not just do come and cut again, then A, I would have them thinner. There's a couple of seedlings in each one of these. And B, I'd have them down the allotment and just grab a lettuce every week or so. We go through stages of eating lettuce. Sometimes we eat loads of it, sometimes we hardly eat any. But I do like the, I've done butter leaf, crinkly leaf, some of this red. I've got some red salad bowl out there, some speckled lettuce. I like to have the variety. I think lettuce pretty much, it's quite exciting when it's different colours and stuff. You eat with your eyes sort of thing. But this has been a little job that I've been meaning to do for a while, and I'm sure that they're going to put on lots more growth. And like I said, there will be times where I'll be pretty much done, and I'll just grab one of these and stick it in whenever I have a space. A load of my spinach is bolted, so I went ahead and grabbed a load of these and chucked them in. So as like things get to the end of, you know, their lives, I will go ahead and grab these and put them, you know, in where I've got spaces, so that I have like a successional harvest of lettuce, because I just cut and come again with these ones. I just harvest the outer leaves, and as they get bigger, the outer leaves will be replaced. However, they are starting to head up, so if they do get a decent head, I might stop harvesting them, let them head up, and then just chop them and take them in. So the only issue with this year, I've found that there's got quite a few twigs in it, which I haven't found in previous years. There's some more of these daisies. They're Livingstone daisies. I've never seen daisies with this like leaves. They almost look like cactuses, but I hope they're nice because I've got so many of them. They're multicoloured, so hopefully I'll get a few colours of each and be able to harvest them for chopped flowers. Bouquets. I always feel weird saying bouquets. I think they sound weird, the word. I need to check on my Chinese cabbage as well, because that's meant to be in soon, so that's like priority. So this time of year is like quite exciting. I really like this time of year because it's the start of the abundance, and whenever we have a lot of things, we share them with our animals, because we obviously, we've got ducks and chickens. And one of my favourite things to do is, like last night I actually harvested a load of the strawberries. And as I'm like harvesting them, obviously we grow them completely organically, you get like a little bit of damage. And I don't have this down the allotment, but I do it here in the house. And something eats the seeds out of the strawberry. It doesn't eat the strawberry, just eats the seeds. It's the weirdest thing. Anyway, when I see that happening, I always give like what's left of the strawberry to the ducks. But the ducks weren't out because I was like, I was harvesting quite late last night, probably about 9 o'clock, after Andrew went to bed. And I was out harvesting, and I was throwing them over the fence onto the grass, and they're out there now eating the strawberries. And I just think it's so nice to like share that with them and be able to have, you know, like something that they really enjoy, and it's like a little treat for them. And soon they'll have like, they eat a lot of tomatoes as well. When the tomatoes split, I always give them to them, especially the chickens, because they don't get to free range as much as the ducks do, because obviously Jasmine takes them around and shows them stuff and all of that sort of jazz. But I'm not massively confident having them out with me on their own, because I worry about the foxes. But it would be nice if I could, you know. It's one of those things with so many foxes down the allotment in the daytime even. I mean, when we were going ahead and building that chicken coop that I have down the allotment, I bought everyone cream cakes because they were helping me out. And that day, I think we went to the car to grab something, came back and the fox had eaten the cream cakes in broad daylight. I never saw a fox. So down there, it's like you might not see the fox, but the fox sees you, sort of thing. So I'm always like super conscious about the chickens, because, you know, I don't want anything bad to happen to them. So it's more important for them to get like a little treat. So these are oxeye daisies. I've never actually gone ahead and grown these before. However, they grow really, really well around my house. That scared me, Bailey. So I'm really excited to see how well these grow, because like I said, these are one of my favourite plants. I love looking at the oxeye daisies. They come up to about your knee, and of course they're just white daisies. This is why I say I just don't understand why those daisies I just did look like that. Perhaps they're pretty fancy daisies, I don't know. But this is what I kind of expected them to be like. I'm hoping that these will actually go ahead and seed themselves every year, because that saves me a job for seeding them, and I really enjoy flowers. Native flowers apparently are better for the bees, etc. as well, because they're, you know, they've grown up or evolved next to them, I should say. So they're more adapted to be able to use those, the pollen, and interact with those flowers. Whereas flowers that we actually breed ourselves, us being mankind of course, a little bit harder apparently. I don't know if that's true, but that's what I've heard. And that's my excuse for growing them. Now, I thought I'd use these strawberry planters to plant up some herbs. Look, I mean, that's a big stick. Look at that. That shouldn't be in compost. Because it will help with water retention. So with this planter, I thought it'd be interesting to use a variety of different herbs and use them for whenever I need any cooking within, you know, any dishes that I'm making, and making them very easily accessible in the garden. I thought I would put some of this rocket in the top as well. I know rocket's not technically a herb, but I thought it'd be nice to have this kind of planted out because it's getting a little bit leggy. And it's one of Bob's favourite lettuces. We don't have much of it because it's so spicy that a little goes a long way. And then this side, I thought I'd go ahead and put some of this dill. Might put another dill there. Gonna put a few of these in here as well. I know I potted them up for something different, but I just thought they'd look cute. It's only going to be cut and come again, so I can put them a little bit closer. So I thought I'd go ahead and sow some seeds, but loads of these seeds I actually can't sow this month. Sometimes you have to put seed back. This is like, oh, where I get a little bit sad because you can, like, the summer is kind of getting towards us, but there's less and less to sow, which is the first time this year. So I'm going to go ahead and put these back inside. So I ended up with a load of seeds that I'm going to go put back up the house. I do think this time of year can be a little bit sad because, like, every month so far we're like a little bit better, a little bit more we can sow, a little bit more we can sow, a little bit more sow, and this is like the first month where I'm like, nope, can't sow that, nope, can't sow that, which is a little bit sad. It's funny because as gardeners we kind of get to the point where we're always looking in the future. So in spring we're thinking of summer, and in summer we're thinking of winter, so it makes the year feel really small for me. And it's kind of a blessing and a curse because we're always looking forward, but that means that sometimes we aren't taking a moment and just looking and appreciating what we have now. And I do feel like I'm very guilty of that, so hey ho. So we are in the decline of the sowing season, but we've still got loads. Most importantly, I actually just found that I've got a cauliflower that I can sow now, and there's very few types of cauliflower that you can actually grow in June, so that's very, very exciting. These are winter cauliflowers, and if I sow them now they'll be ready in about January. I'm going to go ahead and put 2 to a cell. And I'm going to keep these in pots until I put them in their final position later on when things have started to die down. And these are fantastic because they're going to be way, I can put them anywhere in the garden because by the time they're done, it's going to be like nothing good is going to be growing. So down the allotment, there was tons and tons of people around this week, but my friend Meredith came down and we decided to go ahead and pull all of these garlics. A lot of the garlics had rust, so they were well overdue to be pulled, and some of them are elephant garlic. I have to say, garlic just didn't do very well this year. It just struggled this year, I have to say, but gladly we did get quite a decent amount last time, and I haven't actually had time to count these up because this was literally last night. So I'm editing now, so I thought, get this all done. So we just went ahead and he-womaned it ourselves. I'm actually feeding Andrew while she kind of like stepped in. She absolutely loves helping out in the garden, so it's not something that she's upset by or at all. And it was really beneficial having the extra woman power on the allotment this week because Andrew was extra fussy, as you've already seen. So Jazzy's also helping pulling out the garlics, and we had minimal damage. I think we had about 3 that were accidentally caught by the hori knife, and then we're just hoeing back and forwards over the soil to get rid of any weeds. This is really important because we're going to put in our beans, and making sure that like nothing overwhelms the bees and grows too fast for them. So making sure that all perennial weeds are removed and all the annual weeds are just hoed. I just kind of chop and drop them. And then I put in these beans. These are actually drying beans, so these will be beans for next for drying for next season. I do keep them for seed as well, but I have absolutely tons of seeds at the moment, so that is not a massive concern for me. But we got in about 2 rows. So the next thing that we did this week was we went ahead and drove 3 hours down to Gardeners Live. This was super exciting. It was the first time that I've been to Gardeners Live. Never done that before, and it was in Birmingham, which is north for us. So here we are going into Gardeners Live, and it was super cool. They had all sorts of attractions to look at, but one of the things we found absolutely startling is every single person had these trolleys, and we felt like complete novices not having one. It seems to be the go-to thing to do. But there were all sorts of things, some things that I hadn't even seen before, and some absolutely beautiful things on display and up for purchasing. So we were just going around having a little look. Brought my mum with me because there's nowhere better to go than with your mum. This was actually my mum's birthday present from me, to be able to come down to Gardens Live and have a little nosy around. She absolutely loved it.
Dried out. I think these ones were done yesterday, so these are quite dry already. So you can just crumble it and chuck it on an area that you want to brighten up in the garden, and you'll get lots of nice wildflowers growing. Nice. So that'll be nice, and you attract lots of bees and butterflies.
Stay there, please.
Go on, Jazzy.
There you go.
Yeah!
Roll up as well.
That's very good. Where are we done? I think it was good. I think you should put some more bamboos. That's where the bugs go in. Look, nice hollow one.
Just like smother it.
Yeah, it's good. There were absolutely tons of displays that we walked around and looked at. Some that the local kids had put on, and some of these, like these absolutely breathtaking flowers, came from specialists, obviously, and they were amazing. I think the most amazing thing I have to say is some of these bouquets were sold off for a £5 at the end of the day. I didn't actually pick any of them up because we were long gone by then, because we were there about 9 o'clock because we're early risers. But I just thought that was madness. But there was just such variety in colours here. It's like every colour you could even think of, and loads of different types of plants and interesting people to talk to, which I really enjoyed. And there was just wonderful things to be able to be doing. We did have like quite a mosey around. One of the most amazing things for me was the flowers and the different varieties of flowers. For example, these are absolutely beautiful, absolutely breathtaking, and how I didn't even know how many different varieties there are. The level of detail on this is something that I'll never achieve. Always good with the vegetables. I was like attracted to them, and we were taking pictures and jotting down names of all the different varieties that we want to try. There were some beautiful peppers that I thought looked so beautifully ornamental, it'd be a shame not to have them. So it's really good to like see different varieties and jot them down and see what other people are doing and how they're sort of constructing their growing spaces. But it became incredibly busy. We did get there nice and early, so we were there when the rush wasn't on. And we went to a place called Beautiful Boulders, where we met some wonderful YouTube ladies. So that was so wonderful meeting everybody. I'll put all of their channels down below if you want to go ahead and check them out. They're amazing people, so it's well worth it. Because we've got so much strawberries, I thought we'd make strawberry ice cream. I've never made this before, so it's quite exciting. First thing we're going to do is we've put 4 cups of cream into the mixer and have the mixing attachment thing on it, and we've made our strawberry syrup. So let's get started. reason why we're whipping this cream is to incorporate air in it, and that's basically what we do. With ice cream, you whip cream, and because it's got so much fat in it, it can hold the air in it. So this is soft peaks, as you can see. It doesn't stay upright, it kind of flaps back on itself, and that means it's a soft peak. We're looking for stiff peaks, so a little bit more time. So you can see the texture is completely changed. It's nice and thick. Now I'm adding a 1/4 cup of honey. Be any liquid sugar. Now you've got 1/2 cup of milk. So this just cuts through the fat of the cream. Milk, it's very fatty and it's not as nice. Spoons of my homemade vanilla. Look how nice that's looking now. God, it smells so good. About 1/2 cup of strawberries that I've just mashed up with a fork. A little bit of a disaster. I actually bought evaporated milk and not condensed milk, which looks completely different, and I don't even know why I went for the wrong one. So I'm using 2 cups of condensed milk. That is really, really important, because without the condensed milk, it actually isn't soft scoop, so it would go into like a block of ice. We don't want that. Oh wow, it's really heavy. So just gonna give it a stir, just to give it a bit more, like a chance to incorporate. If you don't, then it'll get all stuck at the bottom. You could go ahead and put some food colouring in that. I'm not going to, because, well, I'm making this so it doesn't have things like food colouring in it. So that's what I'm going to go ahead and do. But it tastes just like melted ice cream. It's so sweet and delicious and creamy. You would as well. Go on, dollop it in. You can pour. Yeah, like pourry dollop. I can only see your arm now. Come on, I might have 3 tubs. Whoops, it's gone everywhere. This is M&S ice cream.
But it isn't.
No, it's not. I got the ingredients from Costco. And of course our own strawberries. The vanilla's from Amazon. Not the Amazon. Oh man, this is so good. Got to put, oh, that was such a bad idea. So you've got to put cling film over it, and then you've kind of got to press the cling film down into the ice cream, because if not you get ice crystals, which we don't want, because that'll make it like weird and gritty. So like so. And then there you go. And in the olden days they've done this like on top of ice, and they make ice cream on top of ice. It's mad. This one looks nicer because it's got big chunks of strawberry. I'm well excited about this. Are you excited? Mm-hmm. There you go. And then you've got to put it in the freezer for 6 hours to freeze. I'm going to show you the muffin freezer.
Have we got any space, Nick?
I don't know what.
Oh my god, it's delicious.
Mm.